It's really important, if you're ever in any situation where your eyes could get injured, you have proper protection on. Now, things that could hit your eyes could be something that comes up at a speed, maybe using a machine, and a lump of metal shoots into your eye. It could be dust, it could be liquid, it could be fluids, whatever. And there's a different type of eye protection for whatever you're using. Now, some sectors will have different requirements, and these will be laid down in policies and procedures of where you're working. So it's important that you do make sure what is required while you're working. Now, some sites will insist you're wearing eye protection the whole time, but others only if you're doing certain jobs. So we're going to look at, we've got two types of eye protection here, but we're going to be talking about a lot of others. To start with, to look at this. This is a goggle type of eye protection. Here you've got a clear screen on the front. Elastic strap goes around the back of the head, some vents on the top, and these will allow some air to flow to avoid them steaming up. If you do get goggles steaming up all the time, there are some substances you can put on the inside, but make sure that they are not going to affect the performance of the goggles. Last thing you want to do is put something on the inside to stop them fogging up, and then find that that's actually affecting the way you can see through them. Now, with any types of eye protection, you need to make sure that they are scratch-free and you can still see through them. So if you have got this and you're reusing it, then there's going to be a time where you're going to need to throw it away and get another set. So this is the goggle type. You can get different versions of this. You can get other versions that will allow you to wear glasses underneath them. You know, it just depends on which brand are used where you're working. The other type, instead of this type, is the ones that look more like glasses. Now these are good because they, again, protect against any impact. And also you can get them which are work like sunglasses as well. So you can get photogrammetric ones, or you can get darker coloured ones if it makes it easier, especially if you're working outside. So the main thing is find one that works exactly for you. If you're in very dangerous situations, very potential higher levels of ricocheting bullets and things, there's also even it's very, very strong ones should you need those. So that's the conventional type. The other types of eye protection are more of the shield type. Now this one here we've got is mainly used, this is actually used for things like chainsaw work and things like that. Rather than a clear plastic screen, this has got a very, very fine mesh because in an environment where you're cutting up things with a chainsaw, there's lots of dust around and it gets very, very messy. So this will help against anything that hits directly onto it, but also you can easily wash off any dirt and dust that goes on it, and there's not got a problem with things scratching or fogging up. You just can't fog this up. So this particular one here is on the front of a helmet, or it could be that you just have the face shield. So in other sectors you might be working, this mesh type face shield might well be a solid piece of plastic. And again, those pieces of plastic vary on depending on how you want to work. They'll be built into a helmet like this one is, or they'll just be a band that goes over the front. And again, depending on the exact sector you're working in would depend whether it's more substantial or more of a throwaway product. Some of the face shields are very, very basic because infection reasons, they need to be thrown away and you need to get another one. One area you need to be very careful and use exactly the right type of eye protection is welding. Now this could be any type of welding, whether using gas welding or electric or MIG welding. The reason it's different is, firstly, you're welding very hot lumps of metal, so you're going to get a very hot spark potentially come to you, or a lump of metal hit you in the eyes, but also built into them, it will take out the brightness of it, so you can actually see what you're doing. You can't directly look at welding because it's just so bright it will cause damage to your eyes. So welding screens are very good because they'll filter out that light and just allow enough light so you can see what you're doing. But the important thing when you're doing anything with welding is you must have that down the whole time. Be careful when you lift the visor up to then see what you've been doing, because you've then got no exposure protection between you and the item. So especially if you're putting something into water, you might find that that causes steam and bits of fluid and items to be splashed back in your face. So be very aware of those. Final type is a sort of mixture of all of them. So you could have a welding helmet, but you could also mix into that one with a air supply to it. So what you have with those is you have a backpack on and it will actually blow fresh air in the area you're working with. So if you're working with lots of gases coming off from welding, or you're in a hospital environment, you need to protect and have a clean air because of infection reasons, they work very, very well as well. So make sure you're using the correct face shield for the job you're doing. This would not be a lot of use with areas where you get chemicals and things like that, because it's, again, there's holes in here, so there's no complete protection. So always make sure, whether you're using the face shield type of eye protection or the glasses type of eye protection, that you get the one that's correct for the job you're doing. And if you get any doubt, then make sure you check, and also make sure that the PPE you're using is fit for purpose. And if there's anything damaged, you need to replace it. And always wear PPE where it's been provided by your employer.